A very warm welcome to StudyIQ, my dear friends. I am Prashant Mavani. I hope you all are doing good. Today is the 21st of September 2020. Day is Monday. I'm sure you all have enjoyed your weekend very well, dear friends. Let's start our discussion with a positive thought. I don't live my life in the rearview mirror because if you do, you are bound to end up wrapped around a pole somewhere, has been said by a rapper called LL Cool J. What he's trying to tell us here is that if we are stuck in our past, then we are going to fail in the future. So it is best to focus on the present moment, live in the present moment. Of course, take lessons from your past, but live or try to live as much as you can in your present moment. It's like a practice. The more you live in present moment, the better you will get with it. With this, dear friends, StudyIQ team has designed a smart course. This smart course is for Civil Services Examination. It covers your pre as well as mains examination. Dear friends, today is 21st of September and it is the last date for this EMI offer. So make the most out of it. If you want to know more about our smart course, more about this offer, all you have to do is download our mobile application. To download the PDF of today's lecture, check out my Telegram channel and you can follow me on Facebook as well. On our table, we have 4 important articles, 2 from Hindu, 1 from Indian Express, 1 from Asian Age, and then we have some news items on our table as well. The first article, one of the most important article of the day, is self-reliance for self-esteem. Now, the reason why it is important, the first thing is that this article is written by one IAS officer. Her name is Durga Shakti Nagpal. Right? So, madam is an IAS officer. So, this is the first thing. The reason why it becomes important is because a person who is working in administrative services is writing an article, so she is sharing some interesting facts, and you can say that a written thing is wrapped up with her practical experience, so that makes this article important. The second thing is this article is not just about theory, it is also providing us a detailed plan about implementing it. So implementation is the key. If your plan is 100% perfect but your implementation is 20-30%, then that's not going to produce any result. With good plan you need good implementation as well. Isn't it simple as that? So this article starts with vocal for local. We know that Prime Minister Narendra Modi gave us this slogan, or it's like a movement or campaign that is going on, or he started, or the government of India started. Vocal for local is not just limited to buying local goods. It's not just limited to buying or to using local products. It is more than that. It is taking pride in promoting our local goods. Of course, this thing has sentiment associated with it, right? Using Swadeshi or using local domestic products. So there is nothing wrong with it at all, right? But there are a few things that we have to understand. See, we have to understand this thing that people will support you, people will support your vocal for local thing, but when I say you, I'm not talking about Narendra Modi, I'm not talking about government of India, I'm talking about local entrepreneurs, I'm talking about local producers. So if you create let's say a mobile phone, and if you give that mobile phone name IND, right, that is a short form of India, that your new mobile phone company is IND, that is made in India and everything. But the success of this product will thoroughly depend on its competitive edges. How good that particular product is, its design, its features, price, right, quality, services, everything. So what we need to understand, and this is my personal understanding, that I strongly believe that if India is capable of doing it, but only if we can produce good quality products. Good quality products And the best thing is at reasonable prices. See here, I'm not using the word cheap price. With cheap price, you are going to get cheap quality. Remember this thing. If you want to produce a good quality product, then you have to create a sort of reasonable price for it as well. So that is the main challenge. Good quality at reasonable price, at affordable price. So this is the thing. If you can achieve this thing, then VFL, that is vocal for local, is going to be a big hit. Of course, if you have one iPhone and if you have one phone made by Indian company that is, let's say, equivalent to iPhone. I'm not saying that it is a copy of iPhone, but it is equivalent or substitute of iPhone. Then people will not buy iPhone, people will buy this local phone because they know that this is made in India and this is as good as or better than iPhone or as good as iPhone. Then why not buy something that is made in our country? So for that we need, the secret here is good quality, reasonable price. Keep this thing in mind. Now for this COVID-19 disrupted our whole global supply system, global supply chain. I'll give you one example. There are so many other examples as well, but I think one will be more than enough. API, that is active pharmaceutical ingredient. India is known as pharmacy of the world, right? We are producing medicines for so many countries, but we are importing one of the most important component or ingredient, that is active pharmaceutical ingredient, this API. We are importing 70% of our ingredient from just one country, and that is China. 70%. Let me write it down here. This will help you understand. The rest of it, till 95%, right? So maximum China, then you have two countries. One is Italy and the other one is USA. So number 1, number 2 and number 3. I'm not sure about exact how much we import from Italy and USA, but I know this thing for sure that when you add all these three countries, right, the total is 90 to 95%, somewhere around 95%. Now, what is common between these three countries? All these three countries where China was the first one, then we saw Italy and USA. You know, they came under this shadow of COVID-19. So because of this COVID-19 led lockdown in these countries, there was no supply of API, that is active pharmaceutical industry. Active pharmaceutical ingredient. And this disrupted our medicine market for a very long period of time. So this was an eye-opener. This is just one example. There are so many other examples as well. So this lockdown led by COVID-19 is an eye-opener for our country. It is an opportunity for us to identify this issue that we are importing those items, those items that we can produce in our country. So if we can produce API in our country, then why we should buy it from someone else? If we can produce cars in our country, then why use someone else's car, right? Or why import mobile phones from other countries if you can produce mobile phones in your own country? With China, the problem is that, see, first thing is this COVID-19 led lockdown. The second thing is border tension. And it took us this LAC issue to reach to this point. But I would say that thank God to China for this LAC issue, because now we are going to do something about it, this trade deficit that we have with China. Do you know how much trade deficit we have? $65 billion. I hope you know what is trade deficit. Let me quickly throw some light on it. This is India, this is China, let's say, right? We both are doing business with each other. So India is supplying 10 rupees worth of goods to China today, and China is selling 70 rupees worth of goods to India today, or for the whole year. So if you calculate, then we are buying 60 rupees items more from China. So the trade is clearly in sellers, that is China's favor, because it is selling us 60 rupees worth items more compared to what we are selling to it. We are selling just 10 rupees worth item to China and they are selling us 70 rupees. So the trade deficit is 60 rupees in this example, and here the real figure is $65 billion. This is one of the main reasons why we never joined this RCEP. So far, I'm sure you know the main idea here, that quality, reasonable price, things that we can produce in our country, we should not buy it from somewhere else. And see, if someone is telling you that a day will come when we will import nothing at all, then that person is wrong. We are not going to create a wall. We are not going to stop imports from other countries. Atmanirbhar Bharat is not about protectionism. Atmanirbhar Bharat is about recognizing our own strength, working on it, right, and making the most out of our capabilities or potential. At the same time, we have to keep our legs on the ground, and we have to understand this thing, that there is no country in this world that can call itself 100% self-reliant. There's no country on this planet. We have to buy something and something from other countries, but it should be that thing that we cannot produce in our country. Or it could be a thing that if we produce that thing in our country, then we are not going to get that good quality. The price is going to be too high. Then for now, or for a short period or medium period or long term period of time, depending on the product, depending on the service, right, we can decide to buy that thing from someone else. Like, say, for example, fighter jets. Now, if we think that we are not going to buy any fighter jets and we are just going to use our own fighter jets, then we will have just a Tejas with us. It took 30 years for us to reach this level where we have just deployed Tejas 1 or 2 years ago. So we cannot wait for this sort of things. We have to buy Rafale or other planes from someone else. But yes, simultaneously we should work on this thing as well, that how we can produce our own good quality of next generation aircrafts. I hope this thing is clear to you. Now let's go to implementation part. So here, this article, Durga Shakti Nagpal is she has given us this diagram that you can see on your screen. Of course, this I have created, but it's about this 3 levels. At the very core, you have central government, then you have state or union territories, and then district level. I have one question for you. Can you tell me how many states do we have in our country, and how many union territories we have in total? So if possible, then I would love to see names of all the states and union territories. If you can do it, that would be best for you guys, right? Because you would be typing each and every state, and I will ask you to add map on it. So how you do it is, take a map of India, latest map, and start from the north or from the south, whatever is okay for you. So if you start with north, then see how many states or territories you have, then count one by one, come to south, and then move towards the east side or west side, or come to south then, and then east to west. Depends, right? You can do it on your own way. I'm just giving you one hint. So this will help you a lot if you keep a map. It will if you know things, then it will be a revision. If you don't know states, which state is where, then that will be a new thing for you. So do it. So we have 3 levels or 3 levels on which we have to work. Of course, at central level, we need to ask Niti Aayog. So Niti Aayog will create one umbrella plan. What is umbrella plan? What is umbrella? You know how umbrella works, right? If you come under it, everything under umbrella will be protected from the rain. So umbrella plan is basically about a big plan that will cover the whole nation. I hope this looks something like umbrella, okay? So umbrella plan created by Niti Aayog. This plan will create categories for targets. The reason I'm going through this article in this much detail is because I strongly believe that this article is very important for your mains examination as well as for your overall understanding. And so you identify those sectors, those target sectors, and then you create their categories, good, bad, whatever it is. And then you have this one of the most important thing is monitoring, right? Monitoring agency. This agency will review things. At the same time, it will provide you course correction. So if something is wrong, or if the whole plan is going in a little bit wrong direction, then it will steer it back to right direction. So at central level we need this. Then comes of course the next level, that is state or union territory level. So here as well we need one action plan, but this action plan will be in line with umbrella action plan created by NITI Aayog central government. It will be aligned or synced with umbrella action plan at national level. Then states should create a separate organization. This separate organization will make sure that implementation is taking place, right? And at the same time, it will keep on scanning things at local as well as global level. So in global markets, what are the things that are in demand, the things that are available, or goods or services that are available, what quality is provided by competitors or existing market players, and this sort of things, and what are the things that we can produce at local level, what about raw material, and this sort of things. It will keep on scanning, it will keep on finding new products and services, and it will keep on offering this to various different districts. Like if one district is capable of creating let's say silicon these chips, then it will ask that, or it will provide that thing. Means a state will identify it and it will give it to a particular district, its own district, and if possible it can give it to, we can create this because central umbrella is there. So if one particular state has found something, then if that thing is not important or that thing is not possible in that particular state, then that knowledge can be used by other state, a state that can work on that particular plan or that particular product. So it will be beneficial for each and every state. And then we have this district level, what we need at district level, because district level is a place where action is going to take place. So what we need is, we need experts, identifying those district magistrates or additional district magistrates who are expert in this sort of things, right? Innovative people who are committed, innovative, good business mind. They know they have this knack for business. So identifying those officers and deploying them and giving them autonomy, right? Creating another autonomous authority. And the main job of this autonomous authority will be to deliver. When I say deliver, I mean to say to produce results. If we can do this thing, then yes, we can achieve this Atmanirbhar Bharat. Very, very important topic of the day. Please make sure that you share this lecture with other students. Hit the like button if you learned something from today's discussion. And dear friends, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, the second one is easy to understand topic. I think it was last Friday or Saturday. We have talked about this film star Surya and his comment on this High Court of Madras High Court. And Madras High Court, one judge was not happy with Surya's comment, so he wrote to the Chief Justice of Madras High Court, and he said that we need to carry on this contempt of court procedure against Surya. But finally, in its detailed order, the Madras High Court has rightly noted that it is not the job of the Constitutional Court to use a sledgehammer for avoidance of something which can be perceived to be not capable of even being propped up as contempt, much less debated to the level of criminal contempt. Court's 29-page order lays much emphasis on the idea that criticism about judiciary should be restrained lest the line of fair comment be crossed. So basically, you can criticize, but if you cross the line, then court will carry on, or it will conduct a proceeding against you or any organization. So that's basically everything about this article. Nothing new in it. This was just small update. And if it is your first day, then I would recommend you guys to check out last Friday or last Saturday's lecture. We have talked about this contempt of court thing in detail. If this is your first day, if not, then let's move on to the next one. Very important article. Great power little responsibility. Today is 21st of September 2020 and today is International Day of Peace. This year's theme is Shaping Peace Together. Now, dear friends, we are living in one of the best phase of human beings or mankind's best phase, right, of mankind. The things that we are using these days, which are all around us, like mobile phone services, or you can say, if you just press one button, then you will have fan moving on top of your ceiling, right, and giving you right amount of air or a sort of wind. You press one remote button on your remote and your air conditioner will turn on. If you want to travel somewhere, you have luxurious cars, right, with air conditioning and comfortable leather chairs and everything, with music, with internet, and I can go on, as we all know. So we are living, just imagine, even Mughal king Akbar he was superpower. When Akbar was the Mughal emperor at that during his reign, Mughal Empire was a superpower of the world. Even he was not able to have all these things. Forget about Akbar. Just go back 60 or 100 years ago, right? Even Gandhiji was not able to have this sort of luxuries. Gandhiji was a very humble person. He was not into all this stuff. But if you see, what I'm trying to tell you is that today we are living in one of the best phase of humankind. We have science everywhere, right? We have created so many tools and technologies out of science, mobile phones, medical facilities, water facility, and I can go on and on. If you just observe around yourself, then you find like, oh my God, we are so lucky to be here at this in this time. But the problem is that even in this phase, even in this pocket of timeline in which we are, we find war, we find violence, we find insecurity in many different parts of the world. And these things, they may look impossible to end, but they can be ended by taking right decisions. If at global level, if we take some right decisions, then we can get rid of all this war, violence, and insecurity that is going on. If you see World Population Review, in the last calendar year, 8 countries suffered at least 1,000 deaths. Right, these 8 countries are Afghanistan. Then you have Iraq here, Turkey, Syria, of course. Then you have Somalia, Libya, Mexico. Right, is there any other country missing? Yes, one country is missing here, and that is Yemen. Yemen is known as world's worst humanitarian disaster. This war-like situation that is going on in Yemen, it is described as world's worst humanitarian disaster. So these are the countries that you can see on your screen. And if you add some other countries, like this is Maghreb area covers this whole country. So if you add this Maghreb regions, and if you add this Sahel region, then you have total approx 25 countries which are ravaged by deadly wars today, right? So of course we need to stop this thing. If we go through UN Refugee Agency report, 79.5 million were displaced at the end of 2019. So 79.5 million means we are talking about what, 80 crore people. Beg your pardon, we are talking about 8 crore people. 8 crore is not a small amount, as we know. The problem is, all this war, violence, everything is promoted, escalated by countries who are called great powers. These countries are militarily mighty as well as they are economically huge. And we are talking about countries who are part of UNSC. USA, Russia, China. I would like to add, in this article, you don't find these 2 names, but I would definitely add France and UK's name as well, because these 3 countries together, USA, UK and France, they were trying the level best to get rid of Bashar al-Assad. They were trying to remove Bashar al-Assad from Syria's presidential seat, and they tried this thing by providing weapons to these rebels in Syria. And from this rebels, we saw this new group forming, that is ISIS. So directly, indirectly, these three countries, USA, UK, and France, they supported or they were the main reason behind the birth of ISIS. Russia and China, they are doing the same thing. Russia is actively engaged in this part of Yemen, and it is also, there in Syria. So this great sort of gambling is going on. This great powers, what they are doing, they are playing this geopolitical game, and for them it is a big business, because defense manufacturers in their countries, right, they would love to see disturbances around the world. If you just have this fear of disturbances, then as well the products that you are producing, your bombs, your missiles, your rockets, your guns, your ammunition, everything, its demand will go up. So the more countries and more people are fighting with each other, the better it is for these businesses. So what we need to do is we need to reform this United Nations Security Council. We need to reform United Nations. The way it is going on, we cannot survive. War is at once a geopolitical game and big business as well. Chinese small arms enable ethnic violence and extreme human rights abuses in South China Sea, in Myanmar, in Democratic Republic of Congo, in Pakistan, and in India. Naxals are provided weapons by China. On your screen, you can see some expensive cars, some SUVs used by this ISIS group. The question is, who is providing them spare parts? Who is providing them tires? Who is providing them fuel? Who is providing them wear and tear and other things that you need to use, isn't it? Because they are using some very luxurious, very capable off-roaders. And off-roaders are heavy, and maintenance is quite high as well. So you need those spare parts. So someone is definitely supplying. So for few companies, this is good, right? The more they use it nearby hill area, the more they are going to order your spare parts, the more money you are going to make. So UN, African Union, European Union, they are trying to create some regional organizations, or they are trying to create some some institutions or some setup, some system through which we can get rid of this violence. But we have to alter the structure and nature of the world politics. Without that, we cannot achieve anything. So this is how it is. A few days ago, we were talking about UNSC. Remember, I gave you example of India and so many things. So you can relate this discussion with that. And the last one is coming from Asian Age newspaper. Recently, 9 people were arrested by NIA, that is National Investigation Agency. 6 from West Bengal, 3 from Kerala, and these people have their links with Al-Qaeda. It was an interstate module. So this is a reminder that we cannot let our guards down. We have to be vigilant when it comes to terrorism. This module was engaged in fundraising. So there is a good thing, bad thing. Bad thing that they were engaged in fundraising. That means someone in our country is ready to give them fund. Though small amount, but someone is supporting these people. And the good thing is that they were engaged in fundraising because their handlers were not able to provide money or send money to these people. So that is success of our country. Second thing, they were using these crude weapons and potassium chlorate from firecrackers. This is a good thing because suppliers or their handlers were not able to supply them with sophisticated weapon. That is a positive sign. Negative is they are using whatever they can to create troubles in our country. And this lone wolf attack, right? This is a new trend that we find in USA, in parts of Europe, and we don't want to see this sort of lone wolf attack in our country. So social media, technology is not bad in itself, but the way you use it. So we need to create some campaigns, government as well as religious organizations, NGOs. We have to create some campaigns through which we can educate our kids, young kids. We need to educate them about what is right, because nowadays what happens is that most terrorist organizations, they recruit this lone wolf online. They have never met them. They just, in the name of religion, in the name of sending them this wrong material and everything, they send it, and then they brainwash these people, and then they will use them to execute their plans and create fear around the world. So this is how it works. So we need to be vigilant, right, when it comes to terrorism and this spread of radicalization as well as brainwashing that is going on online. And that's everything in today's discussion. Thank you very much for watching this video, dear friends. You can download the PDF and go through this news items, and I will see you soon with daily financial news analysis. Till then, enjoy your studies. God bless you all. Jai Hind.